So, welcome, Kim. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you, Kathy. It's good to be here, and I appreciate you chatting with me today.
Well, as I've gotten to know you a little bit, it's really been interesting to learn about you and some of the aspirations that you're working towards in terms of your career. So, I was wondering if I could maybe ask you a few questions today that will help our audience
Sure.
to better understand you and what you have to offer.
That would be great. I appreciate it.
Okay, so what would you describe as an important passion in your life?
My passion has always been helping people, and it's been something that I've done really naturally. Like people are just drawn to me. I had a lady I was getting my tires changed. The lady started telling me her whole life story. I didn't even know her. So people have always been my passion and just being able to listen and speak into their lives.
And I suspect part of that conversation was also you somehow offering her some insight. Just probably that happened naturally as well.
Yeah, I probably did now that you mention it. I mean, it was just we were probably a good 40 minutes and she just talked and I just listened. But yeah,
Nice.
you're probably right. There was probably a little bit on my part.
Mhm. I think sometimes people want an ear and they need an ear. And
Hmm.
that's a
For
great
sure.
platform to start to get to know somebody. Okay, so now I also happen to know that you have a business that you've started called Kim Kenny Coaching. Can you tell me a little bit more about that and perhaps what motivated you in that direction?
Sure. So, Kim Kenny Coaching is actually, I am a health and life coach. And mostly I work with women who have um, been dieting for years, been on a roller coaster, losing weight and gaining weight. So, those are the women that I typically tend to work with because I can relate to where they're at. And it comes from my years of dieting, me for many years trying to find that perfect diet and not taking action because I was doing all the research. And then 7 years ago, I ended up having to leave my job. I was so sick. I was burnt out. I had so many health issues. I was on all kinds of medication. That wasn't enough. 2 years later, I ended up in the hospital with lung disease, and my oxygen levels had gone to 60%. As soon as I went in, they wheeled me right into the room, put me on BiPAP, and said, had I waited until morning to go in, they would have had to intubate me. So it was really serious. And at that point, I was at my highest weight. And a lot of the issues I was having were weight related. So I stayed in the ICU for 8 days. That was quite the experience, and it was humiliating because I was unable to get out of bed. So I was at the mercy of the nurses and the doctors. So when I got out of the hospital, I went on a quest to find something that would help me to lose weight. And it took me a couple of years, and I came across health coaching, and I had never heard of it before. And so I enrolled in a program and got my certification in health coaching and life coaching. And it changed everything for me. Like, I realized that it wasn't so much about what you eat as much as it was about what you're thinking about yourself, the beliefs that you have in yourself. And so from there, I started my own weight loss journey and then started coaching other clients, other people on the same types of things that I had learned along the way and helping them change the way they think about themselves so that they were able to lose weight. And so as of this day, I'm on zero medications. I saw my doctor recently and he's been extremely happy with my progress so far. And I'm still losing weight. So I'm not at my goal weight yet. I'm there in the trenches with everybody else, but I have lost over 80 pounds.
That is very good to hear. And I bet you're feeling so much better as a result of it. Now, I have a
Yes, which
question.
is why I'm able to go back to work now.
Yes. I have a question. A lot of people will think, well, you're feeling better physically because they think of weight loss as a physical thing. But how do you feel otherwise, whether it's emotionally or whatever
Mm.
the case? Can you share a little bit on that?
I was suffering with depression and anxiety and was on medication for both. And it was debilitating. Like I spent many, many days in bed. And having a shower was difficult. Getting dressed in the morning was difficult. And I get out of bed usually before my alarm goes off. I get up in the morning, I get dressed, I shower, I do my hair, I do my makeup. I feel happy when I wake up. I don't dread the day. It's made such a big difference to physically but also mentally.
Thank you. Now, you have been running sessions for a while now with individuals, participants. I'm wondering, what would it look like for somebody who is considering joining into your program?
I love the personal approach. So we do some one-on-one coaching. We meet on a weekly basis, but then I love teaching as well. So along with the one-on-one coaching, I also incorporate some teaching videos and some uh, a journal prompt, a journal page that goes with each of the videos to give them questions to journal about and ask themselves about what they've learned in the video. So I try and incorporate all the things that I love to do in the program. And it's really been helpful for the ladies taking the program because everybody learns in a different way. So, like sometimes you might do a program and it's only one way of learning and you may not get everything out of it. So, by incorporating different methodologies, it's really, really been helpful for the clients.
So you'd mentioned, I heard something about like individualized support. Does this also include like group work if people want to be involved in that? I think I may have heard that there as well with the teaching sessions.
Yeah. So, in the program itself, there is the option to do just the one-on-one coaching, or if we have enough people, then we can do some group classes as well. But I also have a Facebook group, a free community, where I do regular master classes, teachings, workshops, and stuff in that Facebook group. So then there's the interaction with the questions and people in the comments. So yeah, there's lots of different ways to work.
So you said you're on Facebook. Are there other social media avenues that they can find you?
Yes, I do have a YouTube channel. It's not, I haven't updated it recently, so it needs some updating. I'm also on Instagram, and I'm also newly on TikTok.
Very good.
That's
Very
been
good.
that's been fun. Yeah.
So I have a question for you, just from your own life experience and perhaps what you've learned through the education that prepared you for this. What would you think might be a jewel of information that you can share with the audience here that is helpful to know, helpful to think about?
Well, when people come to me, they're typically looking for a diet, and it's not about the diet. And once they start working with me, that's when they realize it's not the diet. It's because you can do a diet and then there's an end to it and then you go right back to the old habits and old routines. So working with me, we work on habit change and we work on mindset shifts. So when you can understand why you make the choices you make, then we can put strategies in place so that you don't continue to make those same choices down the road.
I
I
sometimes
think I
feel,
answered all your questions.
I think so.
Sorry.
I think sometimes we have band-aid solutions to what we face in life, and it's important to rip the band-aid off and then dig a little deeper for what's really going on so that you can truly address the issue as compared to just treat
Yes.
it as a band-aid solution. Okay, so
Yes.
I have also heard that recently you did a session that has something to do with Halloween, quite directly, actually. So, can you share a little bit more about that?
Yes, so I taught a master class on Tuesday night in my group, and it was called Trick or Treat: How to Survive Halloween Without Eating All the Candy. So, in that, I gave 6 tips of how to buy the candy, do Halloween, and not end up eating everything before Halloween, or how to not eat all the leftover candy. So I gave some tips and tricks on that. Some tricks.
Oh my goodness, that might be a hard one for some people if they have a really sweet tooth. So I'm sure the tips will be worthwhile.
Yes.
They might need it since Halloween's around the corner. Anyway, so I want to thank you for taking the time to speak here right now
Thank you.
and I'm wondering if there is perhaps something you'd like to share just in closing off this conversation, perhaps the best way to reach you, let's say.
All right. Well, if you go check out my personal profile, you'll see on the cover photo there's a link to my group. So you're more than welcome to join the group. Also have a business page, so you can follow me there. You can follow me on YouTube. In fact, as we're talking about the trick or treat masterclass I did, I'll upload that onto my YouTube channel today so that it's available for everybody to watch.
That is wonderful. Thank you so much, Kim. I honestly has been
Thank
a
you.
pleasure getting to know you, and I'm looking forward to seeing how your journey moves forward, and also the journey that you will share with other people because you'll be helping them to form their own life goals and confidence in themselves. So it's a win-win, I think,
Thank
for
you.
you and
Yeah.
your clients.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
You take care and we'll talk soon.